What's up, everybody? Welcome on in to the Dave Talk Sports podcast. I am your host, Dave Ettinger. And, of course, last night we had the MLB All-Star Game. Yeah, no, that game sucks. I don't want to talk about that game. All right, I'll talk about it for like 30 seconds. It's cool that they mic'd up some players, Freddie Freeman, Verlander, having a little back and forth. That was cool. CC coming out to talk to Chapman on the mound. That was fine. The rest of the game sucks and it's pointless. I talked about this yesterday. It's watered down. Half the players are supposed to be there aren't because they're either injured or they don't want to go. Every team has to have a representative, which is also ridiculous, so you're watering down the product. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. It's just bad. It's just bad. You got to make it more interesting for me. I don't know. If you watched the All-Star Game and you enjoyed it, I want to know why. Get down here in the YouTube comment section. Come at me on Twitter at Dave Ettinger 2. My website, my Facebook page. It's all named Dave Talk Sports. Please explain to me why I should watch next year's All-Star Game. Explain to me why you watched this one. Tell me what's good about it. Tell me what doesn't absolutely suck about the All-Star Game. Right? Because at least in the NBA, yeah, all right, you could say that's a joke too, because the score is like 197 to 184. But at least you're seeing incredible dunks and these ridiculous plays that are just like superhuman by these crazy athletes. And baseball players are professional athletes. They're talented athletes and very skilled players. And watching them hit balls 505 feet or whatever it is really cool. That's what the home run derby is for. The game itself sucks. I'm sorry. If you have a difference of opinion, you're entitled to that. Please let me know in the comments section or come to me, find me on Twitter and let me know. So, anyway, this is episode number 14 of the Dave Talk Sports podcast. This is Wednesday, July 10th, just after 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, you join me on my commute home from CBS Sports Radio Network, where I leave Manhattan around this time, drive home to Long Island. Now I'm hoping, and it looks like I'm going to be fine in terms of not getting stuck in traffic, because today is the big day in the city. It is the parade for the women's national team who won the World Cup for the second consecutive World Cup. Man on bicycle, you must stop, let me go. Thank you. Very exciting. It's going to be awesome. I think these players, and they're entitled to do this, and should enjoy themselves. I think they've been drinking and drunk for the last, since they won. Since about 12 minutes after they won till now, they've been absolutely plastered. If you saw the video, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to retweet it when I get home. You see the video of the women's national team gathering at the airport or whatever, where they had just gotten off the flight, I believe, getting to New York. They looked like they had just drank 18 bottles of tequila. Like, they looked hammered. And good for them. They're celebrating their second consecutive World Cup. Just awesome. So, they'll have their victory parade today right here in New York City. And again, congratulations to them. And they move on to their lawsuit after this celebration is over, and hopefully getting not only equal pay, but more pay from U.S. Soccer, because they are clearly the better team of the two between the men and the women for the U.S. national team. So hopefully that happens for them. A little bit of NBA news. You have Adam Silver, the commissioner, in Vegas around the Summer League, held about a 25-minute press conference, answered a lot of questions, gave his thoughts on a various different bunch of topics. Talked about players requesting trades prior to their contracts being up, the excessive player movement in free agency, TV ratings supposedly being down, all sorts of things. The big thing, though, I think to take away from that, though, is that the league is actually going to implement a coaches challenge. So it's a 1-year experimental idea that they've been using in the G League for a couple of years. They're still using it in the G League now, to where coaches will get one challenge per game that they could use whenever they'd like. And for now, from what I'm hearing, it's going to consist of goaltending, basket interference, plays out of bounds, and a couple other things, different fouls, I think, charges and things like that. But that's the basic idea, and it's just following suit with other sports. You have replays and reviews in football, in baseball, in tennis and hockey, and it's pretty much in every sport. So, they already review plays and stuff, and they're trying to get the right call when it's an important out-of-bounds play towards the end of the game. So they're adding this challenge, factor, and again, it seems like it's crept its way into every single sport. Adam Silver was also asked about young players and rookies and top rookies all being shut down from the summer league, most notably Zion Williamson, and there's a lot of people, and it's being treated kind of like the preseason in the NFL. Guys just don't want to do it. They don't want to risk any injury in meaningless games. And I don't know what they can really do about that, but he kind of sidestepped that question, and he said, it's great that these guys can be here. The veterans can come. They can hang out, get to know their new teammates. But we're really using it for those roster spots, at the end of the bench, the competitions, position battles, and things like that, so players can be evaluated. And he points out how they only have a 2-round draft. So, he's kind of doing the politician answer where he's, speaking. A lot of words are coming out of his mouth, but he's not really saying much. So that leads me to the other thing I want to talk about in the NBA. And I know I talk about the Knicks a lot, but they're in the news a lot. So one of these major free agent signings that they had over the last week, Reggie Bullock. Okay, as I said, when healthy, when in shape, Reggie Bullock is a nice, solid, rotational player who is a 3-and-D guy, can shoot it from outside, and can D you up. I don't mind Reggie Bullock if he's like your 7th best player, and he's part of your bench, your depth, and one of your rotational guys. But as players were able to actually sign these contracts after this legal tampering period, the moratorium period ended, and July 6th arrived, players are actually allowed to sign their contracts. Yeah, we ran into a little bit of a hiccup here with, we're going to call him Fat Man Reggie Bullock. Now, there is no verified reason for why the contract has basically fallen through. I believe his original contract was supposed to be 2 years, 20 or 21 million. Don't quote me on that, but it was somewhere in the $10 million a year range for 2 years. The deal is broken down, contracts not being signed, because the Knicks medical staff were concerned with his fitness level? Yeah. The voice hits another octave there. Fitness level? So what you're telling me is the Knicks took a look at Reggie Bullock and said, yeah, you're good. We know who you are. We'll sign you. But I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen a picture of him. Evidently, he's eaten his former self. And the Knicks are worried of his fitness level not being up to snuff, not being up to par to where he can actually make it through an entire season. This is what we're being told. To that I say, way to go, Knicks. You guys are awesome. Go sign the fat man off the couch who didn't work out once in the off season and just thought he'd show up and roll out of bed, into a $21 million contract. I mean, what are we doing here? So instead, what they're looking to do, and they might be getting bailed out here is what it looks like, is Marcus Morris had verbally agreed to a deal with the San Antonio Spurs. But with this recent development and the fact that he hasn't signed his contract with the Spurs yet, he may back out. Not the best form. I don't love it. I think when you say you're going to do something, you should do it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about millions of dollars. And if I haven't put ink to paper and signed my contract yet, technically I could do whatever I want. Part of the reason why this legal tampering moratorium period is bleepity bleepity bleeping stupid. There's not a lot of bad words I can't use to talk about this legal tampering period. It's just dumb. And people aren't adhering to it anyway. And that was another question that Adam Silver was asked. Obviously, when deals are being leaked before the period's up, or even starts, I should say, or at 6:01 on June 30th, all these deals are getting announced within minutes. Obviously, these guys were already talking, and Adam Silver acknowledged that. But what could happen here, getting back to the specifics, is Marcus Morris may back out of his verbal agreement with the Spurs because he can get more money from the Knicks. Now, it may just be a one-year deal. They're still trying to rework the deal with Reggie Bullock, and he may get less money but stay there. And honestly, for the Knicks, to be a selfish fan, I'd love to take on Marcus Morris, even though they have 1,798 power forwards now, it seems. He'd be the best free agent signing that they've had this offseason outside of Julius Randle. So I say bring it on. As a Knicks fan, I mean, absolutely. Why not? So I'm all for it. Why not? I think this is a great little turn of events. Reggie Bullock is too fat to actually fulfill his contract, and we bring in Marcus Morris, who's a superior player. It hasn't happened yet, but it's looking that way. All right, so you can always find me on the Dave Talk Sports podcast. All right, you can find me on my YouTube channel. It's named Dave Talk Sports. I need you all to subscribe to my video. There's a little button down here somewhere. Click subscribe. I only have 7 subscribers right now. I need more. I need you. Come on, let's build this thing. I know you're enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I am Dave Ettinger of CBS Sports Radio Network. And listen, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. This is where we're going to finish off. Are the baseballs juiced? What's going on with all these home runs? There are record-setting pace, Major League Baseball, to hit almost 7,000 home runs over the course of a season would shatter the record. It's head-scratching. Players are still on steroids. The baseballs are juiced. I don't think the bats are corked. But now that Major League... And this is what Justin Verlander said the other day, and he's right. Now that baseball owns Rawlings, they're doctoring the baseballs because the baseball game today, professional baseball, has turned into home run or strikeout. Home run or strikeout. That's where we're at. So if I juice the baseballs, I'm still going to deal with the strikeouts because people are swinging for the fences, but I'm getting more home runs. And that's what people want. And that's why Pete Alonso has 30 home runs at the All-Star break. That's why Christian Yelich has 31 home runs at the All-Star break. And let me just say this. Christian Yelich is so far and away the National League MVP right now, it's not even funny. This guy has full season statistics already through approximately 90 games. It's ridiculous. He's hitting somewhere in the 320 to 330 range as his batting average. He has 31 home runs, 67 RBIs, 66 runs scored, and 19 stolen bases. And he's played just over half a season. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hope for his sake and Brewers fans and all these other fans, I hope he's not juicing and he's not on steroids. I'm not putting it past anybody. You tell me someone's taking steroids, HGH, PEDs, I'm not putting it past anybody. Not my favorite player, not my favorite team, not old timers, not newcomers, it doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. You tell me they're taking steroids, you show me proof, it won't shock me in any way. So he's putting up video game numbers. You might as well just hand him the trophy right now. But this is what baseball wants. So, without any proof, I'm not trying to incriminate anybody, I'm pretty sure that the baseballs are juiced and that guys out there are still doing steroids. You heard it here first. Not first, but you heard it here. So, I am Dave Ettinger, the host of the Dave Talk Sports podcast. This has been episode number 14. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm always having a good time here. Driving, talking, multitasking at its finest, as I say. Until tomorrow, see ya.